Oh, darling, I am so stressed out. Oh, I have so much to do. I'm just so stressed out. You wouldn't understand.
You're stressed.
Yes, darling, I have so much on my plate. This year is of the utmost importance to my entire career. Oh, you wouldn't understand.
You have a lot on your plate.
Yes, darling, everyone wants something from me. And they're all watching me, darling, watching, because I am so important.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yes, darling, you wouldn't understand.
Well, I understand the concept of stress.
No, darling, no.
No?
No, it's not the same, darling.
Right, because it's yours.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, no, darling. It's just that everything is so much more, and everything is riding on this year, darling. Everything, everything.
Everything.
Yes, darling.
I
You wouldn't
understand.
understand. I have to go, darling, because I am so important and I have so much to do.
I understand.
Hey! I got the last word.
Hey everyone, I'm Andy. Welcome to Furniture Fables. In high school, everyone knows who the real stars of the show are, with that dramatically stressful SAT prep and the quest for those final grades that most colleges will be considering. Well, I suppose the general epicness of a student's penultimate year is true, and so juniors claim the starring role. True, seniors rule the school, but if seniors wear the crown, juniors wear the sunglasses, and would seem to demand a little bit more star power for their turn in this Furniture Fabler's self-imposed IKEA Hack Design Challenge. And so, here you go, juniors. The spotlight is yours. When last we left our Scandinavian furniture adventure, the sophisticated sophomore had left us with laid-back, neutral vibes. It was tempting to hang out in her chill presence, but the upperclassmen were getting impatient, so it was time to meet our next style student. Ah, here's our overscheduled friend now. Let's call her the junior. Now, what in tarnation is going on here, you are probably wondering. Well, back when I was working on the sophomore, I experienced a bit of workplace chain reaction disaster. Upon trying to change a bent blade in my jigsaw, I jerked my arm back, elbowed a table leg, which jostled the camera stand, causing it to fall over and land on top of one of the sophomore's drawers that I had already done the cutout for. And here was the result. Yeah. I did go ahead and repair the drawer, but I knew I was kind of in luck because I was already planning on not using all three drawers for the junior. So I just stole one from her for the sophomore. Sorry, junior. So, assuring this jumpy junior I would keep careening camera stands away from her, and as the rest of the campus focused on our star, I began. I started by taking out all of the drawers, including the sophomore's old broken one. Aw, looks like this junior maybe once belonged to a cute kindergartner. And then I did a quick clean with some water and some simple green. Okay, so for the juniors' alterations, we are going to need more of this pine board that I had in the scrap lumber pile. I flipped the piece upside down and then measured out a cutting of the board to fit on the bottom. Then I removed that front horizontal bar because I'm going to create a bottom storage space in the chest, and we might as well be able to use all the space that we've got. Having some open storage in a piece like this can be really, really nice, whether it's as a nightstand or a side table, or maybe an occasional table, some storage where maybe you are displaying something or can grab it quickly, but you still have the nice feature of having 2 drawers that close. I screwed the new floor of the piece into place, and then I removed those old pine poles. Okay, we've got some filling to do. I got out the Bondo, which is a 2-part epoxy wood filler that dries to an extremely hard finish, and then I applied it into the drawer holes and along the edge of the original piece and our new base piece of pine. I also filled the holes that were in the interior walls of the little dresser that will now be visible in that bottom storage area, now that that bottom drawer is gone. Once that had all dried, I sanded it back until it was nice and smooth to the touch, using my Festal sander to get the bulk of the work done. Okay, let's talk about this gap back here, shall we? When I used this technique for the sophomore, this gap was no really big deal because it wasn't visible. But with our new design, this junior clearly has a problem. Here you can see the depth of the board and the depth of the dresser. Yep. Not deep enough. Now, obviously, one just could use a board that was deep enough, but we have so much scrap lumber laying around here at our house. And in the spirit of working with what you've got and also saving a buck or two, I decided to have a sort of make it work moment. And I cut myself a little patch piece that will fit right there in the back. I coated it really well with some wood glue. That is super important. Your glue really does the heavy lifting, actually, in most situations. And then I clamped the piece on and I put in a couple of screws. Not perfect, but it will do just fine. Okay, once that was dry, I mixed up some more Bondo and I added that over the top of that long patch. I also added a little bit of spackle into those side cracks. Now, I know, it was just that my regular wood filler was getting a bit dried out and crumbly. And again, we just had this on hand. Sometimes when you're DIYing, you just use what you got, right? Okay, a little bit more sanding and we are finally ready to get her ready for spraying. I set up my spray tent and then I began taping off the inside of the dresser. Since I wasn't sure yet what I wanted to do in terms of finish work in that bottom cubby area, I decided to go ahead and cover it up. I did the bottom with what I thought was the last of my blue tape, but then I was really excited to find that I had a whole other roll. This stuff is great. Let me show you how easy it is to use. You just unroll the tape, just like you would any other painter's tape, and that plastic just follows along. When you've got as much as you need, you just kind of pull the plastic and it just kind of tears away from itself and separates from the rest of the roll. Then you can just kind of floof out the plastic and you can anchor it down in the back or wherever if you need to with another piece of tape. Here you can see how fabulous it is for drawers. All wrapped up and ready to spray. Speaking of spraying, I got out my Wagner Flexio gun and boom! This bright, clear blue by Fusion. This is called Liberty Blue. Oops. Got a little excited there. I poured it in and then I made sure my air intake valve was all snugly hooked up. I did a little tester on this piece of cardboard. Somehow I didn't catch that on film. Everything looked great, and so I was off to the races. So here you can see just how goofy the paint looks after one coat. You may also be able to tell that I did my second coat before that first coat was fully dry. Now, obviously, this is not the best way to do it, but I was definitely trying to push things along. That's the thing about YouTube and posting regularly. But the main issue is that you will just need to give your paint that much more time to fully dry and cure, not just to the touch, but to dry down deeply through all of the layers. And here you can see how dramatically weird it can look while it is still technically wet. If I were to touch the paint carefully right now in those darker spots, it would feel actually pretty dry to my fingers, but it is obviously not. Watch what happened when I took a drawer outside into the sun. And here's that top. This is in bright, direct sunlight, folks. Wow, all that blotchiness is gone. Pretty cool. Okay, I scraped what was left in my paint gun back into the jar, and it looks like I've got about a third of the jar left, which is pretty good. Then I peeled back all of my tape, and then I got ready to deal with the open back of our piece. I had decided to use some of these boards that we had left over from a family room refresh that John and I had done a couple of years ago. I had seen this product at the depot and thought it would be kind of nice on the back of our built-in bookshelves. There, you can see it there. You probably recognize it, right? These are in the whitewash finish, and they have such a great texture, and I feel like they're just going to play really beautifully with the other more fine elements in the Junior's design. Give us a bit of contrast. I measured out a width and I cut 3 boards, and then using my nail gun, I put just 1 board in to make sure that I was liking where this was going. And then I decided to pause on that because it was time to bring in this design element. Ooh, you may remember this paper if you happened to catch John's bar. It was one of the many that I purchased from Spoonflower for his consideration when I was designing that piece for him. We ended up going with a different paper, but this paper's gorgeous Art Deco flower design with these amazing, clear, bright colors, I thought were going to be just perfect for our star Junior. I measured out the bottom piece, deciding to feature that center arch of flowers, and then I trimmed it down and continued the pattern up the side of the walls. Now, I have gotten myself into quite a little situation here, because obviously it would be much easier, about 1,000 times easier, to just paint the entire inner cubby area with the Liberty Blue color and then paper over it. The only reason I am not doing it that way is time. You really want to wait a few weeks before you lay wallpaper over new paint. So I am having to use my razor blade and make these teeny tiny adjustments. Ugh. You won't do this. You will be smart about it and just paint your piece and then add your wallpaper accent after it has fully dried and cured. Again, it's sometimes kind of nice not to have a YouTube deadline. Okay, I added my other boards, and since I needed to refill the nails in my nail gun, I thought it would be a good time to let you check it out here in case this is a new tool for you. This is a cordless brad nailer, and as you can see, you can use nails of many different lengths. You just load them up and you're ready to go. You always want to remove your battery when you're done for safety, and nail guns are awesome because, yeah, they make this sound. Okay, check out our junior's new shoes. Ooh la la. These are 4-inch acrylic feet I found on Amazon. I did some measuring and then making sure to tape my drill so I knew where to make sure to stop drilling. I'd sure hate to go through our gorgeous paper. I installed the 4 foot mounts and then screwed in our star-worthy design element. Okay, I'm laughing at myself because I've decided to go ahead and put our new hardware exactly where the old hardware was in the first place, which I can just barely see if I get super close here. Check out these pulls. I bought them in a pack of 10. Ooh, like little jewels. They came with 2 different screw lengths, which is always nice. And I think they will be great little repeating elements working with our very shiny feet. Okay, time for just a few little touch-ups. I'm painting that visible edge of the inner structural bar, as well as that little bit of exposed wood over on the sides. Most likely no one will see these spots, but just in case, it's nice to know they are covered. So, for our junior's last bit of bling, I pulled out these silicone tiles that are peel and stick. I've been dying to try to incorporate them into a project, and they come in all of these fabulous colors. I decided to use these dark blue ones. The tiles are paintable, but I was actually kind of floored at the match between these blue ones and our Liberty Blue paint. I mean, when does that ever happen? Never. That never happens. It was just too awesome. So I am using a new razor blade to trim them up. They are very easy to cut through, but I did find that I got cleaner, straighter lines when I used a blade as opposed to a pair of scissors. You can see I was even able to miter those corners pretty easily. I think that this dark blue trim line in the back of our bottom cubby space is going to create just the perfect visual balance with our front paint lines. Okay, do you remember our justifiably jumpy junior? With the sophomore stolen drawer and the boring and blah outfit. Totally unfit for the school VIP? Well, here she is now. Attention all students, please be advised, the junior has arrived at school, and she is fabulous. In her electric blue, this junior is unapologetically the anti-neutral. The shine and sparkle of her jewelry and her new shoes and gorgeous Art Deco paper are chicly balanced by her rustic back wall feature. A perfect play of fine and rough elements, suitable only for a standout star. Whether she's hanging out with the teenagers, blending with a more sophisticated crowd, our junior is a true focal point conversation piece. Oh, and just in case, she can provide her own spotlight. Brava, Junior! I think everybody's going to be talking about you.
Ooh, looking sharp there, Junior. So how much did this Junior's star power set me back? Well, I spent $10 on the dresser, another $14 worth of that Liberty Blue paint. I spent $12 for 4 of those pulls. That pack of tile trim was $15. I used about $6 worth of it. $38 for those beautiful 4-inch acrylic feet. Another $28 for that stunning wallpaper from Spoonflower. The lumber was free. It was scrap. It's been here for a few years. Another $5 for glue and screws, etc. And that puts our total out-of-pocket cost for this stunning little star to $113. Whew. The junior almost beat the sophomore, and with one less drawer. What a diva. I hope that you enjoyed this junior's journey in our ongoing scholastically inspired IKEA hack design challenge. If so, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, and of course, come on, spill the tea. Let me know. What did you think? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and then please, please make way, because you know who's coming. You gotta get out of the way. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. I will see you next class period for more Furniture Fables. I don't make the rules. Well, that's not true. I do.